Hi, everyone. Welcome back to True Disabled Story. My name is Nico, and I use he, him pronouns. I'm a white man with blonde hair, large blue and brown spectacles, and a white flowered shirt, which is a short sleeve button up, as well as a black headset around my head. I'm seated against a olive green wall, and in the back you see my kitchen. Some degree of culinary chaos. Like roughly 25% of Americans and a full 17% of Philadelphians, I'm disabled. And whether we look locally, nationally, or even globally, disabled communities are full of dynamic, diverse, and frankly delightful people with their own stories to tell. All we have to do is listen. As many of you know, I've always been disabled. I was born with my disability, and I'll probably always be disabled, so I've never known differently. I'm naturally curious about other people's disabled stories when I meet them in a project or just in day-to-day life. Today, I'm honored to be joined by my friend Stephanie, and I can't wait to hear what she has to say and share her experiences. Hi, Stephanie. Thank you for joining me.
Hi, so good to be here. Nervous but excited.
Of
Hello,
course.
my name is Stephanie Chicas. I am a light-skinned Latina with pink lipstick, dark brown long hair, wearing a white top, and sitting in a chair with a white background.
Thank you, Stephanie. What was your path to diagnosis like? Was this a surprise, or was it something that you were maybe actively pursuing, or perhaps we're starting to suspect? Tell us that story.
Yeah, so diagnosis story was both pursued and a surprise. It was pursued when I was a kid because I did present with symptoms, an array of symptoms, from muscle weakness to falls to breathing difficulties and other things. But I was not diagnosed. Doctors pushed it aside. They just thought it was a low appetite, and that I would grow out of it. So I was not diagnosed, but it was also a surprise because when I was 13, I was officially diagnosed with muscular dystrophy. And this was after a medical trauma that I experienced when I was 12, when I randomly experienced vertigo, difficulty breathing, started turning blue, among other very traumatic experiences. But this all prompted to 1 month hospital stay and 1 month inpatient rehab stay. So all that led to me finally being diagnosed with muscular dystrophy. So we pursued diagnosis, but we didn't get one until the surprise came along of the medical trauma, and that's when we finally got the diagnosis of muscular dystrophy, congenital muscular dystrophy.
Stephanie, thank you so much. I've had the great fortune of talking with a few other people with muscular dystrophy, and the diagnostic process. I always find it very fascinating, and I really appreciate your perspective on it as well. I'm sorry that you didn't get more help sooner when you definitely needed it.
Yeah.
I I want to give you a bit more room to talk about how congenital muscular dystrophy has impacted your life. You might consider how it impacted you, like academically as a kid, or now as an adult, how it impacts your professional life, your social life. Just giving you more of an easel, I guess, to use a painting analogy.
Yeah, thank you for giving me the space. It's a very rare condition, so I'd
Yeah,
love to talk about it to
yeah.
see if others can relate, or if they have experiences, if they can seek diagnosis. So yeah, congenital muscular dystrophy, there are many subtypes. It all depends on the protein that is mutated. So mine is selenon. That is what I have. And so selenon for me presents as muscle weakness, and our muscles are everywhere, literally all over our body. So for me, most importantly, it affects my breathing. I do have a trach, my beautiful little neck collar, my necklace, as my brother calls it. And so I have a ventilator that I use, and that is used when I am feeling fatigued, weak. If any symptom causes me weakness, I will see to use the ventilator. during the day and always at night. And that also makes me prone to getting respiratory infections. So a cold can easily turn into a respiratory infection, and that will prompt me to be admitted to the hospital. So I do have to be careful. COVID was scary times. So besides that, there's also a lot of neck pain, back pain, because with muscular dystrophy, our spine is not as supported to remain straight. So a lot of us do end up having scoliosis, kyphosis, the other spine comorbidities. So I do have scoliosis, kyphosis, and that causes me muscle pain, which I did get a surgery for as well when I was 14. So that has its pains. And also, hold on, I'm getting short of breath. Um, and also, there's other things like now I have tummy troubles. So I had it as a kid for a good 15 years. I was feeling fine, no symptoms, didn't have nausea and all that stuff. But then it came back. My nausea that I had as a kid, low appetite, having food sensitivities, all those things are back now. It's just so happens that I experience that. Not everybody does, but I do. And what else? There's the migraines, there's the headaches. I do have difficulty with stairs and walking, so I have to be very slow paced. When I do fall, I fall hard, so I have to be careful with that as well. What else? It's hard to think about sometimes because like you don't always think about how these things affect you. But those are some of the things that affect me. And so I did experience bullying as a kid. Some kids did make fun of me because I couldn't run. I didn't know what was wrong with me back then, so I was very hard on myself about that actually. And so they made fun of me for that. They thought of me as like weird because they could tell that I was weaker and I couldn't keep up with kids. So that did happen. And I even still experience that sometimes now because I can walk, I'm mobile. So a lot of people think I can participate physically because they do not see the disability, right? Because that. But I do experience it. For example, in church, when I don't stand up, right, to clap and all these things, I've been told, like, you should stand up. You need to stand up. And they just don't get it. I if I have the energy, I educate them. If I don't owe anybody an explanation. So it's for socialization, it affected me in many ways. But there's also good things because it has reminded me, I think we'll touch on this after actually. Um, it has reminded me of how like what is actually important in life, you know? Um, it reminds me like 'cause our lives are affected every day by symptoms come and go. Yesterday was a hellish day. Today is much better, which is why I'm able to talk to you. But every day is different. And I'm reminded of what's actually important to like stay away from drama, to have uh, a more carefree life, and to be more authentic because there's just so much going on in our lives. I think
Stephanie,
I
thank you.
rambled.
Sorry, go ahead.
I think I rambled, sorry.
Okay. No, I mean, if you did ramble, it was very educational, and I enjoyed hearing your perspective. In it, I kind of saw my own experiences a bit. As we were talking about before we began recording, I also had had a trach, but I got mine out. I was decannulated, to use the term, around age 6 or 7. But I did experience that bullying and those pretty frequent respiratory infections. So even though I was getting the best venting of my life, given that tracheotomy, I ultimately did go to a face mask and explore other venting needs because I don't know, kids are mean. It was just what was best for me. I really appreciate that. Uh, and when you mentioned not being able to always stand in church, see, that's the kind of thing that not even other disabled people would imagine that is how your disability affects you. But that's why I appreciate your perspective. Stephanie, If you could go back in time and give like a younger version of yourself advice about dealing with your diagnosis, what would that be? Or even if you could give advice to some young kid with congenital muscular dystrophy, what advice would you have?
I would say to trust yourself the most. You know your body the best. Our conditions, whether it's a rare or more common one, it affects us differently, even if you have the same condition. You know, trust yourself. Keep speaking up for yourself. You have power within yourself. You know, we are very resourceful, us disabled people, us with chronic illnesses, very resourceful. We're very educated. Keep educating yourself in your condition and educate your loved ones so they can support you better the way you deserve. And uh, educate your doctors too, because they should support you the best way they can, given all their education. So yeah, like you have power within yourself. Keep trusting yourself, keep trusting your body. Every day it could look different, take it one day at a time, but we can get through this. There's also some, on the mental health side, there's also a lot of support on the online community. There's Facebook groups, there's great social media friends who may not even have your same condition, but you can relate on so many things and they're great support. Or there's Cure CMD, which is a great source that I've been connected with. I've written blogs for them, and they've hosted events, local or on the East Coast side as well. Events where we can meet up. So those with congenital muscular dystrophies, we can meet up, and they can actually connect you with someone online. So that's there too, because community once I've come to be more accepting my disability, dismantling my inner ableism and all that, I've become more connected to the community, and it has definitely helped me remind me of my power and to keep advocating for myself and also advocate for others because there are others who are going through these things and our doctors and everybody around us need to know and be more understanding of these things.
Stephanie, thank you. I really love this call for more acceptance, more accommodations, and most importantly, much less ableism. Ideally, no ableism, of course. I've really enjoyed getting to hear more about your story, learning about your perspective, and I really value having your voice in this project. As we close our time together, Stephanie, I want to give you a chance that we as disabled people so rarely get. I want to give you a chance to promote yourself, brag about like a recent win you've got or something you're working on. If you're open to creating community, as it seems you are, where can people find you online? So this is your chance, Stephanie, to be your own cheerleader, brag about yourself, brag about your wins, step up on your soapbox. Let's hear it.
All right. So you can find me on Instagram. My name is Stephanie Chicas, and the name is Steph Chica. So it's STEPHCHICAA at the end. Steph Chica. That's my Instagram. And sometimes I'll share just day-to-day things of how my illness is affecting me. I like to share other accounts as well that, like my best friend Cyan, who is a great advocate. I like to share with other people as well. I like us to create a community, so you can find me there. And for biggest win, honestly, it's just feeling good today. I had a terrible day yesterday and just feeling way better today and having energy to sit here and talk to you and being in better spirits is a big win. So that's my win.
Thank you, Stephanie. I hope you have a win tomorrow as well. Thank you for everything you do for raising CMD awareness, connecting with the community, and being a resource for others. I really appreciate it. Wherever you go, I'm rooting for you, and I can't wait to see what you do next. Thank you again.
Thank you.